The Argos had a busy weekend with both hoop squads battling for a GSC tournament title. Softball and baseball were at home. There was a cycle and a no-hitter in the same game. Find out who did what, plus we preview what's next on the hardwood on Argos Sports Weekly. So much to get to, it seems like, as we always do on Argos Sports Weekly, and we begin with women's basketball. As we're joined now by Argonaut head coach Stephanie Lawrence-Yelton. Coach, welcome as always, and our final segment of the year with you, but it was a fun season, and you guys went on a nice little run there at the GSC tournament.
Oh man, the last 2 weeks of women's basketball has been tremendous. I mean, we kept talking about that fire and desire that our 5 seniors had, and that carried us into the championship game of the GSC, and how proud I was of them, of their battle, their fight. We cut the lead to 3 against Union late in the game, and we just couldn't pull it out to cut down the net. But it was a great run in the tournament. And
I know we talked about it. It started with that opening game against Valdosta. What a huge game that was. And then you were able to keep that momentum rolling into the tournament. Of course, it went to Birmingham at Samford. Let's take a look. You guys in the semifinal game battled West Alabama. Kind of thought that might be an advantage for you guys. Turns out you guys played really well.
We did. I mean, this was a game that we dropped at home earlier, and our players really thought that we owed West Alabama a better game. And sure enough, we came out and played better.
Nice turnaround jumper there. And then Belle Bistro hitting that one.
Yeah, she hit some nice jump shots, hit some, especially with the shot clock running down, to help bolster our offense.
Chloe Branch, a physical move there, couldn't get it. But then how about Haley Neiman just firing it up at the end of the shot clock? She had 18.
Yeah, and she hit 2 of those threes, one in the first half and one in the second half, that were just beating the shot clock and just miracle shots. But you know it's your day when things are falling like that.
No doubt. Shami also with a good game as well. She finished the game with 16 points as you go on to win that one, 61-46 in the semifinal game, which earned you an opportunity to play in the GSC Championship, which is a nice run for you guys in this tournament.
Oh, yeah. Being able to go to that championship game for the second year in a row, was exciting for our team. And knowing that we're a 6th seed coming in, we're a little bit behind the 8 ball, but our players stepped up. They really battled hard, and it was a good fought game.
At the end of the day, you still got to get those wins regardless of seeding, don't you?
That's right. That's right.
And you're playing a team that you guys were able to beat earlier this year, and a team that not many people were able to beat as you took on Union.
Yeah, they're ranked in the top 10 in the country. Very balanced team. They had the Player of the Year in the conference on their team, Chelsea Schubert, and I think our players just came out, ready to battle them once again.
Bistro nails that 3 after a great feed from her good friend Faith Franklin.
That's right. Yeah, we got on the penetration a little bit. We're able to hit jumpers. You see Shaniqua McGee there hitting a jump shot off of penetration. There's another kick out for another shot off of penetration. Once we figured that out, we started scoring fairly easily.
And you guys went on a nice run in the second half. It just came up a little short. That was something that you guys weren't able to do much in the first half, which kind of made the difference in a game like this.
It did. And in the second half, we started getting to the free throw line a little bit more. We started scoring while that clock was stopped. So that helped us, kind of get back into the game. But again, Union just had a little too much offense there in that fourth quarter, late in the fourth, and we just couldn't stop them.
What is it about you guys that you play Union so tough? I mean, this is the 3rd time you guys have faced them, and it seems like each time it's a tough ball game.
I think our players come into that game really focused. Union is a storied program. They've got a good team. They've got good balance scoring. They are a super offensive team. They're averaging into the 80s every year. So our players step into that game knowing that you can't take breaks. You can't relax, because they're going to take advantage of you when you do.
Ended up dropping that one. Final score on that one was 66-54. Now you look ahead. You unfortunately didn't get the berth in the tournament. You guys are right on the bubble. Unfortunately, missed out on that, but now you start focusing on next season. So at this point, what are you guys working on? What's the next steps for this program?
Yeah, right now we'll take a little bit of a break. We'll give them a couple of weeks just to relax, recover, get back into their schoolwork, get refocused on academics, and then as we start postseason workouts, we'll work on agility, footwork. We'll work on individual skill segments, but then we'll also work on recruiting. We still have a couple of slots to fill on our roster roster for next year, and so we'll kind of see what that pans out. We've got 5 really talented freshmen that we already signed in the early signing period, so we'll work to kind of make sure they're getting into school and get them acclimated and get their class schedules done to get ready for the fall. But we'll probably add 2 to 3 more to the roster, whether that be D1 transfers or junior college transfers or even high school kids. So we're hitting that recruiting trail and getting ready for next season.
I know at this point of the program you don't like to rebuild, you like to reload. So in that process, where do you feel like you're at? Are these players that are coming in, the freshmen, are they instant contributors, or are these players that are going to take a few years to kind of get into the program?
I think the kids that we have signed are going to have to be instant contributors just because the number that we're having to bring in. So, yeah, we'll push them to be able to come in and contribute right away. Of course, we've got a good, solid core of returners coming back. I mean, Haley Neiman was second-team All-Conference. She was on the All-Tournament team. Danielle Norquist, who got some good minutes as a freshman in our squad, especially late in the season. She'll be back. You've got Belle Bistro, who's going to be a senior, who really played a great year for us this year. I mean, we've got some really good pieces coming back to our team, and now it's filling in those gaps. We've got to find some scoring. You know, we've got to establish an inside game in the paint. We've got 2 6'4" signees that are coming in, so we feel like we've got those shoes filled, but now it's about putting those pieces together.
Absolutely. Well, we certainly look forward to next season. It was still a good year for you guys. I know you still look at this year and feel like it was a success.
Yeah, I really feel our team were overachievers. We said that before. I mean, they battled through adversity. We started out the season behind the 8 ball with some of our roster issues, and just through injuries, through illness a little bit, through that adversity that comes through during every basketball season, I felt our players really fought hard. And to finish where we did, to make it to the championship game in the tournament, obviously we overachieved.
Well, not a bad year all in all. Coach, thanks so much, and enjoy the little bit of a break you get now.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you need to grab some rest.
Yes.
Not much of that in the season, is there?
The good thing about being at UWF is that in the off season, we're just a car ride away from the beach. We can go put our toes in the sand and relax a little bit.
That's not a bad way to unwind after a season. Thanks so much, Coach. No-hitters and cycles. Okay, just one no-hitter, one cycle. In the same game, no less. Find out who was responsible for all of this next.
We will never settle for the kiddie pool. We are destined for the vast ocean of opportunities that await us. We were born to make a splash. At the University of West Florida, you can make a discovery, make a difference, make a splash. So take a deep breath and dive in. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. After a somewhat slow start, the baseball team has righted the ship. The Argos swept a 3-game set from Union Saturday. It was filled with drama despite wins of 11-2 and 7-1. In Game 2, Dylan Mills-Derwin no-hit the Bulldogs with 9 strikeouts. It was the first Argo no-hitter since 2011. If that wasn't enough, leadoff hitter and second baseman Nick Strasser went 4 for 4 with the cycle. In all, that's a pretty banner day for Argo baseball.
It's just something cool, be a part of, no-hitter and a cycle in the same game. You'll remember that forever. Take my hat off to Mills on the no-hitter. That's awesome. He came out today throwing the ball great.
No, just real happy with the team, proud of the home support we got this weekend, had some good crowds, thankful for the weather, and just real grateful for their effort.
On the softball diamond, the Argos took 2 of 3 from Union. After dropping Saturday's opener, they cruised to a 12-4 win in the second game. Torrey Perkins had a great day with a pair of homers and a win in the circle. Behind an excellent start from Sarah Maloney, the Argos took the Bulldogs down 6-1 in the finale on Sunday. Maloney felt pretty good about her effort, as well she should have.
You know, I was just hitting my spots, moving side to side, really, and my curveball, my fastball were working, and so that's, pretty much all I threw, so it was just working for me today.
The men's and women's tennis teams played at home for the first time this season over the weekend. They hosted conference rival Auburn Montgomery, and both squads beat AUM 8-1. We're now privileged to be joined by the no-hit man himself, Dylan Mills Derwin. Thanks so much for being on with us. You're from not too far away, but you've seen your share of professional baseball as well as college baseball as well. Did you have any big inspirations in on the mound growing up?
On the mound was definitely the Braves. Maddox, Glavine, all of them, Smoltz. I definitely looked up to them.
Any of those guys you tried to pattern your game after?
Smoltz, something about him.
Yeah?
Just his character on the mound.
Did you ever figure that you would throw a no-hitter, or was that a goal to throw a no-hitter in your college days?
It's never a goal. It just so happened. Our goal is to win the game. That's what we're growing up to do, to win.
At what point in the game is that start to become a reality for you? Because as a pitcher, you know when you give up your first hit. Every game, you know when they get that first knock. So at what point did you realize, okay, this is pretty cool right now?
Probably about the 6th. It was a 7-inning game, and about the 6th, I was like, I haven't given up a hit. Let's see if I can keep going or not. So,
how was your pitch count? You'd walked a few guys, you'd given up a run as well, but at that point, are you feeling like your pitch count's in pretty good shape?
Actually, it was. Believe it or not, I tend to get it a little higher pitch count, but this game I left it a little lower, so that's probably why he let me in.
Did you have an idea of who was coming up and how you wanted to go at those guys?
In between each inning, I always go talk to Coach. He's always like, hey, these people are coming up, stay away. He tells me the game plan. So I just execute the game plan.
We always hear stories of no-hitters and everybody staying away from the pitcher in between innings. Did you experience any of that?
I did. I talked to one of my pitchers. I was like, hey, come sit by me. He was like, no.
So you stayed pretty relaxed during the whole thing?
Yes, sir.
Was it fun?
It was. It was entertaining. And then stress on top of that, heading for the cycle, that gives you energy as well.
No doubt. Just a crazy day. Is there anything that you've had that comes close to that on the diamond?
I can't say so. This no-hitter, that's awesome and all. I can't take that away from myself, but this cycle, I've never seen that happen.
Awesome.
That's just awesome.
What a day. I'm sure that was one you guys won't soon forget, and enjoy it, and good luck the rest of the way. I know you guys still have some meaningful baseball left to be played. It's still early, so good luck the rest of the way.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right. Dylan Mills Derwin joining us today. Next up, we talk men's basketball with Argos point guard Rashawn Benson. This is Argos Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
We are not here to drift. We were born to move, to change, to jump in, dive deep, make waves, break through. We were born to splash. The University of West Florida is America's best university for making a splash. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Argos Sports Weekly. Junior point guard Rashawn Benson is second in the GSC in assists with 169. A lot of that has to do with the guys around him. A lot of it has to do with his vision on the floor as well. I had a chance earlier to catch up with Rashawn. Rashawn, I mean, your path to UWF is a little different than what some people have had. You went to a high school and then you were homeschooled your senior year. That senior season was a little harder to be found by colleges?
Most definitely. I was homeschooled and I played with like a little inner city group called MHEA. Great people, great teammates, great coach. But it was fun. It was kind of hard to get seen, but we traveled a lot though. We traveled a lot. And I sent my film out to a lot of colleges and that really helped.
Once West Florida and Coach Berkhammer took an interest in you, what was that experience like for you?
It was different. He wanted me to come down for a tryout to kind of work out, see what I could do. I came out here, worked out, tried out, and it was pretty fun. It was new for me.
What did you envision out of yourself as a college basketball player?
Coming in my first year, I just wanted to learn, honestly. I just wanted to learn, get familiar, get bigger, get used to the college surrounding, just soak everything in.
Now that you've been here for 3 seasons, you guys are on the cusp of going to the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. When you look at where you were, where this program was when you got here, what do you think?
It's been a blur since 2015 all the way to now, but it's a blessing to be here right now. It's a great blessing.
Talk about how much pride you have in seeing this program and being a part of this program as it's grown from a 7-win season your freshman year to now a 3-loss team going into the NCAA tournament and just missing out on being a number 1 seed.
Well, we know what it's like to start from the bottom, so we take pride in that. And we just carry that chip on our shoulder every game because we know what it's like to lose, and we don't want to have that feeling anymore.
Is there any inspiration you draw from anywhere?
My mom and dad, just my mom and dad. My dad's a very hard worker. My mom's a never give up person, so I just carry that fight every game with me.
How about on the basketball court? Was there anybody you try to pattern your game after or anybody you like watching play?
I'm a big Kobe fan, so Kobe's my guy, but now that he's gone, Russell Westbrook's my guy. Yeah.
Talk about this team. What makes this group so special?
We're a close-knit group. Everybody plays for everybody out there. We're very, very unselfish. And I feel like it's hard to scout us because any game, anybody can have a great game.
You guys had a taste of the tournament with the GSC tournament. Now the last 2 seasons, obviously you were bounced in the first round last year. You got over that hurdle this year and won the whole thing. How does that prepare you now for the national tournament?
We've been in those battles before, so we're ready for the war now. So all those battles that we were getting ready for, we feel like we're ready for the big war. We feel like we can get it all.
You're obviously going to play Barry in the first round. You guys will be preparing for them all week. In a tournament setting like this, where you'll be seeing some teams you haven't seen before, you have time to prepare for Barry. How do you guys prepare for everybody else while you're at it?
We just got to stay ready, stay locked in. That's been a big thing for us this year, just always being locked in no matter what goes on around our surroundings. We just know that we got to be locked in.
You were second in the GSC in assists, so to do that, obviously you have to have great vision, you have to have great teammates as well. Talk about the group around you.
My guys, they got the hard job putting the ball in the hoop. My job is easy, just giving them the ball. They got to make the shot. So Tug Marvin, DJ, Mo, Trail, Jared, all those guys, Brett, Shundell, those are my guys. They knock down the shots for me, so I love them.
Good luck in the tournament. Have some fun.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
There's still plenty more to get to. Almost not enough time for all the basketball first that we get to talk about this week, but we'll peel back the layers of a physical GSC tournament with head coach Jeff Berkhammer next.
The world is our ocean, and we are here to make a splash, to dive deep, to create, to develop, to break through. At the University of West Florida, there's no limit to how you can make a splash. Don't just sit on shore, jump in. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. We continue talking about men's basketball. A lot of fun to talk about men's basketball these days with Argonaut head coach Jeff Berkhammer, and a fun little tournament up there in Birmingham, huh?
It was a great weekend. It was a lot of fun and a great weekend. And did a nice job of finishing the weekend.
Came back with a little hardware too.
Came back
which
with a little
looks
trophy.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice.
First one ever here. That's a nice addition to all the others.
It is, and it'll fit in nicely in the trophy case. Well, let's talk about it. You guys started off with Christian Brothers. They can be tough now, can't they?
Hard fought game. We knew it would be. Our team's pretty good rivalry with those two teams. But I really thought our guys played well. We did a good job of defending and really attacked well late in the game. We were able to finish the game in the right way.
Let's take a look at the highlights. And it's always fun, tournament time, and, well, nice little flush there to get things going.
It's DJ Thorpe making something happen with his hands again. Great defender and got an easy basket for us early.
Marvin Jones had 14, hit the 3 there. Daryl Tucker with that big dunk. And let's talk about Jones for a minute because he has really had a strong finish to the season.
Had a great finish, played a great tournament, MVP of the tournament, and just thought he played well in both games.
Had a nice jumper there from Rashawn Benson. Benson finished with 11 points, and a nice finish by DJ Thorpe as well with the drive and layup there as you guys go on 68-58 in a very physical game. It got a little chippy there at one point, too.
Well, I think it's two teams that go at each other pretty hard. We've had the last couple of years very difficult, very tough, hard-fought games with them. And both teams wanting to win. Both teams trying to get in the finals, so that happens once in a while, but just glad our guys were able to finish out the right way.
You guys finished with 5 players. Seems like something we've talked about quite a bit this season. 5 players in double figures in that game. Oh, you guys are really good when everybody's scoring.
And that's what happened in that game. Different guys at different times. Great to have 5 different guys in double figures. Makes it very hard for the defense to really hone in on 1 or 2 guys. So if we move the ball and we get the shots we want, we get 5 guys in double figures, we're difficult to guard.
We talked about Marvin Jones. It seems like he's been rebounding well lately, but he also had 3 steals in that game and 5 blocks as well. Or I had that backwards. 3 blocks, but 5 steals. Pretty good defensively.
No, that's a real good game for him. He's shot the ball well lately, which is something we really needed. He defended well, got some steals, and something we challenged him with earlier in the year was to rebound better. He's a bigger guard that can do that, and it's just simply getting him to go finish possessions.
And then it was on to Delta State, a team that's been playing pretty well lately.
Oh, they played really well. I thought their semifinal game against Valdosta, they were outstanding. Very, very well coached, very well prepared, and we knew it was going to be a tough game.
And it's the GSC Championship, so no easy games at this point. Early on, DJ Thorpe knocking down the layup. Thorpe finished with a nice game in this one.
Well, it's a game where we struggled offensively. They really guard you. They lay on your post guys and double anything thrown inside. They double ball screens, and they just make it hard to score. Fortunately, we made it hard to score for them, and we were able to find enough points late with DJ and Motier making shots late in the game to win.
Motier stepping out, a couple of long 2s there, and then getting it done, the little jumper from the free throw line. He finished with 21 points, 11 rebounds, double-double for him. Daryl Tucker also a double-double in this one as you guys cut down the nets there in Birmingham.
I thought Tucker put the finishing touches on with rebounding every missed shot, it seemed like late, but really proud of our guys. We've had to fight through a lot of adversity in this game. Very tough, hard-fought, physical game. Got behind a couple times by 12, 14 points and just kept working and fighting and found a way to win the game.
Double overtime, 71-65, the final in that one, never easy. And then, they did some things offensive or defensively against you guys that gave you fits. What did you kind of do offensively to counter what they were doing?
Well, one of the big things is we cleared the side of the floor. We went ball screens on the strong side and cleared everybody to the weak side. And that's how Motier got those late shots in the overtime periods in the short corner. Just made it difficult to rotate, made it further for that guy to come to get him. And it really helped us and knocked down the shots. It doesn't matter what play you run if the guy doesn't make the shot. So he made the shots, which makes everybody look good.
You were facing a double-digit deficit in the first half. All of a sudden, you stepped up your defense, and then you were able to go on a run and got right back in it, cut it to single digits, cut it to a one-possession game. And that was one where I thought your defense kind of led to some offense.
Well, it happened twice in the game. Once in the first half, we got down 10 or 12. We went on about 11-0 run and got it back to 3 at halftime. And then the second half, we come out, didn't play well early again. It goes to 14. And then we go on another big run and got it back, I think, a 13-2 run to get it back to where it was workable and manageable late in the game. And really could have won the game in regulation. We went 1 of 2 at the free throw line. Could have won the game in the first overtime, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, and then found a way to win it in the second overtime.
How are your dancing shoes?
Well, dancing shoes were good that day.
All right, well, time to dust them off. We talk NCAA tournament next with Coach Berkhammer. This is Argo Sports Weekly on the UWF Sports Network.
We are not here to drift. We were born to move, to change, to jump in, dive deep, make waves, break through. We were born to splash. The University of West Florida is America's best university for making a splash. The University of West Florida. How will you make a splash?
Bye-bye. Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably gonna turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Welcome back to Argo Sports Weekly. We continue talking men's basketball with head coach Jeff Burkhammer as we look ahead now to the NCAA tournament. Talk about this field a little bit. I know you've already looked at the region. You kind of size up everybody initially. I know you do. You're a coach and you know, you're a basketball guy. So how do you look at your bracket in particular? How does it shape up?
Well, I think there's 8 terrific teams in the regional. You get to this point, you're going to play against very good teams. We play Barry, who's coached by Butch Estes. He's another really close friend of mine who's an outstanding coach, one of the better coaches in the country, I would think. He's been a Division I head coach. He knows what he's doing. They do a lot of Carolina stuff. They'll be well prepared. Nobody's going to play harder than his teams. Then you look at Claflin and Clark Atlanta, also in our bracket, 2 teams out of the SIAC that will be very, very athletic. We'll be more comfortable because that's the league they've played in and been there. And then we'll just see what happens. And then the other side, you know, we don't have to play Valdosta a third time unless we get to the finals, which is nice. They got Eckerd, who is very well coached. Tom Ryan has been very good there for a number of years. And then you look at the Morehouse game, and you know that's going to be a good game for them, having a chance to play at home. They did lose one of their best players last week to an injury, so that's going to hurt them a little bit. But it's a great field.
As you look at Barry, this is a team that loves to shoot the three, and they do it very well. Does that play into your guys' hands a little bit?
Well, they're very similar in some ways to Valdosta with how they play. A little bit different defensively, but you know, we've played teams kind of like them in the past, and we got to get to the shooters. All 5 guys can shoot it. Doesn't matter if it's their center stepping out there; he can make shots, and we'll have to do a terrific job of defensive transition, getting matched up quickly, and not allowing them to get open shots.
You've been to the NCAA tournament before at other stops. Does this feel different?
Well, it's really a neat thing because it's the first time in school history. We were so close last year getting there. And for us to take this team the first time to the tournament, be a number 2 seed to go in and play against a great field is really special, and it's special for those players. I'm excited for especially those 4 seniors that have helped us build this thing. But our team has been so good together throughout the year. You could tell our bench guys were excited the other day. Guys that didn't even play in the game, they're excited about winning. And you know, it doesn't matter if you played or not, you still get the championship feel. So it's a neat thing for our group.
And you typically play pretty deep anyways on your roster. So these guys are all big parts of this team, whether it's in a game or in practice.
Well, I said after the game, it takes a whole group of people to win a championship. It takes strength coaches and trainers. It takes cheerleaders. It takes you guys. It takes good players playing together, playing well. It takes good assistant coaches. It takes a lot of different people to win a championship. And it's hard to win a championship. It's not something that happens all the time, and you've got to earn it. And we really had to earn that game on Sunday. We had to fight through adversity, and you just have to have a lot of people that help you. And our bench guys have been terrific, whether it be in practice or in game time. They're still there, and they're still working. They're cheering. They're happy for their teammates, and because of that, we've had a good year.
Talk about the role of your assistant coaches, because you talk about their value, but how do you use them? I know Brian, it seems like he does a lot of the recruiting to kind of help put this whole thing together.
Brian does a lot of the recruiting stuff. He's on the phone with kids all the time, talking with them, going to see guys play, giving me updates, who I need to talk with, who I need to see. That's his biggest role, and of course he helps on the floor. Does a variety of things, but that's the biggest thing. Then you got Jason Latch, who's a former player here, all-time three-point leader here, and Jason does a lot of skill development. He helps with all the travel stuff, a lot of video breakdown. So those guys have different roles and play them well, and they're vital to our success.
Allows you to work on the X's and O's.
And I like doing the basketball stuff, so it allows me to work on that. You're exactly right.
Well, good stuff. Well, go have some fun. It's the NCAA tournament. You got to have some fun,
well,
right?
That's special. That is a special thing, and our guys are going to have fun. Hopefully we'll go and play well. I know we'll play hard. We just got to play well for 3 games.
Well, let's hope we have to push the show back a day next week
That'd
to
be great.
accommodate for a trip to the Elite Eight. Coach, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Well, the first game is Saturday at 1:30 Central. You can listen to all the NCAA tournament action on News Radio 1620 FM 92.3. Keep up to date with all things Argos at GoArgos.com. For Jeff, Stephanie, Rashawn, and Dylan, and our entire crew, I'm Tommy Thrall. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.